Today we are looking at doing a roof antenna install on a more modern vehicle. This is a 2013 GMC Sierra that I bought last week, and one of my friends has always told me, well, when you buy a modern semi-modern truck, you'll never drill a hole in it, you'll never want to. And I was, nope. But anyway, so what I found from the past, and I've done several four-door GM trucks of this body style, easiest way to do this, pull out this dome light and look around and see where you want to drill. So we're gonna pull the dome light real quick. There's a little tab on these right here. Pops that cover off. Once that pulls down, you see this locking tab, and you can slide the dome light aside, in and out. And here's the view of the inside. So pretty much from anything from here to here, we know there are no roof rib supports, and sticking my hand under here, I can't feel any in this curve. So anywhere between this foam and here would be a good place to start. So we're gonna go up top and mark where we want to drill and start drilling. Okay, so I've made a center mark right here, measured from rib to rib. You have to be careful on some vehicles because the actual center of the roof may not look geometrically center. So just keep that in mind. Put a nut or something there when you're doing this, and step back and look from behind or in front of, and see if it's where you want it. But so this one's in the center. I'm usually within a 1/4 inch. My initial marks right here, my measured marks right here. So about 1/8 of an inch of difference. But the tool I'm using, this is a layered NMO hole saw. It makes a 3/4 inch hole, specifically designed for this application. You'll hear a lot of people say use a Greenlee hole punch. That works too, but you have to have access to the inside of the vehicle. This, you don't have to have access. And this is a fairly straightforward process. You hook it on and drill it. It's got a pilot bit in it. And you have to be careful with like a Greenlee hole saw, because Greenlee makes 2 different size 3/4 inch punches, or the Greenlee hole punch. One is a one is for 3/4 inch conduit, which conduit's measured by inside diameter, so it's bigger than 3/4 inch on its outside diameter. So you need to make sure you get the true 3/4 inch diameter hole. Okay, so we're gonna go for it. And there we go, 3/4 inch hole in the roof. So, easier than you think. Okay, so I actually washed this truck last night. Before you do any of this final sealing, you're gonna wanna make sure that you have a clean surface right here. It just helps with the final seal. So with an NMO mount, like such, this end would be connected to coax. You'd unscrew this top ring right here, as you can see me starting to do through the plastic, and then you'd feed the coax end in through here, and this outer nut right here is actually a little bit bigger than 3/4 inch, so when you get there, you won't actually go through. if you use a proper size device to put the hole in, you won't go through. So, and then you just tighten everything back on and put this outer ring on. Hold it with a pair of pliers, use a wrench, get it snug. Just make sure all your surfaces are clean. In this application, I'm using a Panorama Sharkee, which this is a, this little guy has GPS, quad band, cellular, 2.4 gig and 4.9 gig, as well as having they have a whipped, so I'm going to eventually put a tri-band whip on this one, but today I just have their Nitol quarter wave, which is very similar to a Styco antenna. The Styco's flexi whip. As you can see, this one has all the leads already on it, and I don't know if I mentioned this, 3/4 inch is actually a very standard hole size. So, unscrewing the lock nut, and pulling it off, hopefully. Nah, they come off. You just have to be careful with them, and you just have to be patient. So we're going to put this down in where it needs to go. Gonna make sure it's where I want it. Looks pretty good to me. Pretty straight. So, I'm gonna pull it back out. Peel the double-sided tape off. And I will pick that up in a minute. Again, get it where we want it. And we already got stick here. And stick it on. And now I'm going to go under and tighten this nut up. But first I'm going to go pull the whip out so y'all can see that. Okay, so here's the nut after it's been tightened. Here are the leads coming through, easy to access. Right now the only one I really need, this one for this Motorola sitting here. And the lead for it's actually going to come down this back wall and stay back here. Most of the leads are going to come and stay in this back wall, because eventually everything's going to be remote head. But until then, the lead's going to come out just here on the floor and run straight to the driver's seat right there, just as a temporary deal. So anyway, but until then, until I actually get around to running it, which I'll do later today, hopefully, that's all. Just button everything back up. You'll never know I was in here.